Hey friends, and welcome to another episode of Is It Worth It? And today we're going to be looking at some gift sets that you can find readily available at your local stores, and we're going to see if they are worth it or not. Let's get going. Okay, so first up, we have two of these cast iron skillets that are $4.96 each. The first one is a chocolate chip cookie mix, and it comes with the cast iron skillet and the cookie mix. You will need to add 1.5 tablespoons softened butter, 2 teaspoons of water, a 1/2 teaspoon beaten egg, and a 1/4 teaspoon vegetable oil for greasing the skillet. With these cast iron skillet kits, a lot of them call for just part of a beaten egg, which is kind of odd, but I guess you only need a tiny bit because it is just one small serving. So for the cookie, you just mix all the ingredients together and then pour the batter into the cast iron skillet, kind of press it out and then bake it. And here it is. Turned out pretty cute. I would say it does look like the box, and it's kind of silly. They did pour a bunch of caramel and have some ice cream, looks like photoshopped onto the skillet on the box to kind of hide. I don't know if it's to hide, but it doesn't look like a cute cookie. It looks all right, but let's give it a try. I mean, it's pretty tasty. Tastes like a decent chocolate chip cookie. And for the price, I think it's a great low budget gift that is actually really fun. Okay, so next up we have the same brand with a cast iron skillet brownie. It is the same price as the cookie skillet, so $4.96 from Walmart. And it comes with the cast iron skillet and the brownie mix. But you need to add 2 tablespoons softened butter, 1 tablespoon water, 1 teaspoon beaten egg, and a 1/4 teaspoon of vegetable oil for greasing the skillet. And so for this, just like the last one, you mix all the ingredients together, pour it into the greased skillet, and then you bake it. And here's how it turned out. It filled out the pan nicely, and I don't know, it looks really cute, but let's give it a try. This one did come out of the pan a lot easier than the cookie, and I don't know if that's just because I greased it a little bit better or what, so. It's okay. It's a pretty bland brownie. It's a little crumbly, and it definitely needs like chocolate chips or like ice cream on top, which is kind of a bummer. I think I would rather, as a gift, get a box of brownies that I actually like rather than this, because it is a little bit of a hassle just to like beat up one egg and then use only a tiny bit of it, especially since the brownie's not that good. Whereas the cookie skillet was actually pretty tasty, and I like that one. So I recommend the cookie one because it's cute, fun, and tastes good. And I would say skip on this brownie skillet. All right, so next up we have this Reese's cookie skillet, which is about twice the size as the other cookie skillets, and it does cost more. It was $14.99, and I found this at Target. This comes with the cast iron skillet, the Reese's peanut butter and chocolate chip cookie mix, and Reese's peanut butter chips. You will need to add 1.5 tablespoons butter and 1 tablespoon of egg that's been beaten. Before you even start making this mix, it recommends to prep the skillet. And so to do that, you wash the skillet, and then you lightly coat it with vegetable oil and you bake it for 2 hours. And then for best results, they recommend to repeat that step 2 or 3 times, which is a big time commitment for a silly little skillet cookie. But I understand that they want the skillet to actually get seasoned, and maybe you can use it in the future. That being said, I only seasoned it once, so I baked it in the oven for 2 hours, and then I mixed up all the ingredients, poured the batter in, which it was pretty dry, which I really did have to like press it in to kind of get it to spread out. But then I baked it, and when I pulled it out, it looked great. So here it is, and you can see while baking, it kind of filled out the skillet. which makes it look like this awesome, tasty cookie. And this was what I was hoping that the chocolate chip cookie skillet kit was going to look like. Having that nice, you know, kind of bumpy texture on the top just makes for a really good looking cookie. But let's give it a try. So when it first came out of the oven, it was nice and soft. It's since had time to cool a bit, and it's very hard. So I would eat it kind of fresh from the oven, as long as you can handle the pan without burning yourself. Let's try it. It's good. It tastes like a peanut butter cookie. Do I recommend it though? I don't know. I mean, if it came out of the pan better, probably. So it's very tasty, but it doesn't come out of the pan very easily, which kind of ruins the experience because you don't want to have to be chiseling out a cookie. And I don't know if that's just a result of it cooling down inside the cast iron pan, but I followed all the instructions, except I only seasoned it once. However, if it takes 3 times to season this pan before it sticks, that's a huge time commitment. Like 6 hours just to get a Reese's cookie? I don't know, guys. Personally, I would skip this, but if you are a Reese's lover, let me know if you try it, and I'd love to hear your feedback. All right, so next up we have this Harry Potter chocolate cake mix with house sprinkles, which you're supposed to add to the middle for a colorful surprise. Now, I got this at Walmart for $9.97. When I went to look it up again online, it's so weird. It says it's like $25. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with it, but it is a super cute set. And I was so excited to get this because, I mean, who doesn't love Harry Potter, right? Especially people my age who grew up with it. And so this kit comes with this adorable mug with the owl on it. And it's like you're getting your letter to Hogwarts. And then the kit comes with the dry cake mix and colorful sprinkles, but you will need to add a tablespoon beaten egg, a tablespoon vegetable oil, and a tablespoon of milk. First you wash the mug, and then you mix up all the ingredients inside the mug, and you're supposed to fold the batter over the sprinkles so it creates this colorful surprise, as the package says. It was difficult to fold that in without getting it like everywhere, but I did the best I could. When I first bought this, I really thought like that it would change colors and, you know, tell me what house I should be in, which is silly, but also very cute and fun. It doesn't do that. It's just the sprinkles inside, which are supposed to be the colors of each house. After I mixed everything up, I microwaved it for 2 minutes, and then I let it stand for a minute. However, in the microwave, like even before it hit the minute mark, it kind of exploded out of the top, as mug cakes can do, but this was very disappointing. It definitely looks like a Hogwarts potions experiment gone wrong, so I guess there's fun in that. There is still some cake mix inside, so let's give it a try. You can see a little bit of the sprinkles. It seems a little dry just from stabbing into it, but it got way too hot in the microwave. There weren't any instructions on lowering the power of the microwave, and I have a standard microwave, but this is very dry, very, it's burned. I mean, honestly, and you would have to like dump a bunch of whipped cream or ice cream on top just to like really enjoy it. Plus now you have to deal with this mess on the side. So I don't know, but I feel like there are other cute Harry Potter themed mugs out there that are probably cheaper than this or about the same price, and you don't have to deal with this huge mess. So unfortunately, I think I would pass on this. All right, so next up we have this adorable sugar cookie mix kit. It has a pot holder with a cute gnome on it. This kit was $4.96 and I found it at Walmart. So obviously it comes with the mix, but you will need to add 1 egg, 4 tablespoons of butter, and then you'll need some extra flour for working with the dough. You mix the dry mix with the egg and the butter, and then what you will do is wrap the dough in plastic wrap and refrigerate it for about 20 minutes, which is pretty standard with sugar cookie mixes. And then roll that out, cut it, and bake them. Now, I did need to use a lot more flour than the 2 tablespoons they recommended because the dough was very sticky, but overall they eventually cut nicely and I was able to bake them up. Plus, I mean, like, how cute is just this? And it says, "Let it snow." I really like this. Here are the cookies. On the package, it says to decorate however I want, but I don't know, if it's a gift and it doesn't come with a little bit of icing, I'm not probably gonna decorate them. But let's see how they taste. They're actually a pretty good sugar cookie. Definitely not as good as homemade. They don't have the kind of like delicious butteriness that permeates the homemade sugar cookies, but they are actually tasty. They are a little bit more crunchy than how I like my sugar cookies, but overall, they're really good. You get this cute oven mitt and it comes with the snowflake cookie cutter. So overall, I would recommend this. All right, so next up we have this gourmet recipe butter cookie mix. And it has an oven mitt as well. This was at Walmart as well for $4.96, and hopefully it's at least as good as the other cookie mix, because that was a great gift. Now this comes with the cookie mix, but you will also need 10 tablespoons of butter. So you mix those up together, and then you take about a tablespoon of dough, roll it, and put it on a parchment lined cookie sheet, and then you bake it. So it's actually really simple, much more simple than the sugar cookies. And you know what? They turned out looking great. They look like this, but let's see how they taste. That's actually really good. It is very buttery, as you would expect with 10 tablespoons of butter. And it was so simple to make. I actually like this better than the sugar cookie. I do have a shortbread recipe on my site, which is very similar, very buttery, very crunchy and delicious. That is so good. But this recipe mix is actually really delicious. So I do recommend this really cute gift. Next up, we have this artisanal Mediterranean olive oil and vinegar bread dipping set. I found this set for $24.98 at Sam's Club, and it just was so impressive how it looked. It comes with so much stuff that I knew I wanted to try it. So it comes with garlic bread mix, rosemary bread mix, garlic olive oil, rosemary olive oil, classic balsamic vinegar, fig balsamic vinegar, chili rosemary seasoning, Italian seasoning, herbs de Provence seasoning, a bread dipping bowl, and a recipe card. I mean, that's so much stuff. It sounds very promising. So when I sat down to make this, I realized that both of the breads that this kit has you make are focaccia breads. And that is not what is shown on the package. Both of these images on the package are baguettes, but that's okay. I wasn't gonna let that stop me. So making the focaccia bread, both of the recipes are the same, except you just use one mix for one and one for another. You need to add a half cup and 2 tablespoons of warm water. Those are added separately. You need a tablespoon of olive oil and a half teaspoon of yeast. So you start by adding the yeast with 2 tablespoons of warm water, and you let it sit until it activates and it's all bubbly. If you've ever made bread before and your bread never rose, it's probably because the water you used was too hot and it killed the yeast. So make sure you keep that water temperature between 105 and 110. Just a little tip. And like my tap water gets way over 110. So it's not necessarily just the hottest temperature of your tap. Now, after the yeast is all bubbly, then you combine that with the bread mix, a half cup of warm water, and olive oil. You mix until a dough forms. You put that into a well-oiled bowl and then cover it with a damp towel. I used a damp paper towel, and you let it rise in a warm place. Now, it's winter here, so our house can be a little cold, so I just preheated the oven, turned it off, and opened the oven door so that the air would come out, but it would still be warm in the oven, and allowed both of the doughs to rise in there. After they rise, you place the dough in an oiled skillet. I just have one skillet, so I put the other in one of my baking dishes, and then you like dimple it with your fingers. And both baked up nicely. Here's the one in the baking dish. This was the garlic bread. This one is the rosemary bread. What they don't tell you is to spread the dough out. I don't know, I've never made focaccia bread before, but I think it's supposed to be flatter than especially like the rosemary one. So I would have appreciated a little bit more instruction on like how to shape the bread and put it in the pan. I mean, I write recipes for a living, so I guess I'm a little picky about that. But they baked up nicely, golden brown. They smell amazing. So I am excited to try them. But before that, I wanted to mix up the dips that you use all the olive oil and the balsamic oil and the seasoning for that comes in this kit. A few caveats with the dips. As I was making them up, there's not enough olive oil or balsamic oil to make all three that they recommend. Plus, in all of the dips, you will need to add additional ingredients, either grated Parmesan, black pepper, and salt, or extra thyme. And it's like, why not add the thyme into the dried seasoning? And then I don't have to worry about it. That being said, I made it work. I divided the garlic olive oil in half and made up for the volume with regular plain olive oil I had on hand. And then they only give you 1 bottle of regular balsamic vinegar, but you need 2 in addition to the fig balsamic vinegar. So there is a lot of like adjusting that I did have to do, which was unfortunate, but it's okay. We made it work. But now let's give it a try. So first up, I'm going to try the breads on their own before dipping them. And I will start with the rosemary bread. So it's a little crumbly. It's not terrible. I've definitely had better focaccia bread, but that's to be expected, especially in a kit. Let's try the garlic. I do like the garlic as well. I think this is a little bit softer because it baked a little bit flatter. Let's try the dips. So the first dip is the classic Tuscan. It's all right. It's nothing super special. This one does have Parmesan in it, but it kind of, I don't know, it tastes like olive oil and balsamic with lots of herbs, which is, I guess, what it's supposed to be. Next up, let's try this spicy, garlicky Italian dip, which has grated Parmesan and uses the chili rosemary seasoning in addition to balsamic vinegar. Definitely like the flavor of that more just because I can actually taste something and it's delicious. So that's good. And then last up we have the Provencal, I don't know, fig dip, which uses the balsamic vinegar that is fig flavored. That fig balsamic is delicious. I've never had something like that before, and that's very tasty. So do I recommend this kit? I think I do. I mean, it's really fun, and even if you don't use it as a gift, you could use it for a party night or something, and you and your friends can make the bread and hang out and then try a bunch of these fun flavors. Or if you do give it as a gift, maybe you and your friend can make it together. So overall, I do recommend this. It's at Sam's Club, and you should give it a try. So next up we have this adorable Candyland Milk Chocolate Edition game. And although it's not a recipe set that you make, it was just too cute to pass up, and I knew I had to show you guys what it looked like. I found this at Target for $9.99. They also had a Monopoly edition, and I'm not sure if other Targets have other games, but I played Candyland growing up and loved it, so I knew I had to check this out. As soon as you open it, you have your little figures that you can pop out and use as your characters around the board. You have all of your little color pieces that will be your cards that you draw. And then you have the board, which is so awesome. How fun is that? And then you have all the chocolate that you can win throughout the game. So it comes with the game board, the paper pawns, 32 chocolates, 64 cards, and 1 chocolate trophy. And you play as normal. And so how you get the chocolate, when you pick a card with a picture that has, like a little chocolate on it, then you gain a chocolate from the box and you move forward or backward to the nearest matching picture space. So very normal rules for Candyland. And then if you are the first one to reach or pass the rainbow space, you've reached King Candy's castle and win the game and the chocolate trophy. You guys, I just love how colorful this is. I loved playing Candyland as a kid. Just very easy and fun. And this is definitely, I recommend it and absolutely hope you would enjoy it too. Okay, so last up we have Hank's review of the day, and he is going to be reviewing the Bark brand. So I found this at Target for $13.99. It is Gnasher the Puppermint Reindeer. It's cute. I think it's supposed to squeak, but oh my gosh, Hank, what are you dressed up as? Are you a reindeer? Oh, well, that worked out. Let's see how Hank likes it, and make sure to tell him how adorable he looks in the comments below. All right, so overall, there were definitely some hits and some misses in all of these gift sets. But let me know which one was your favorite in the comments below and what you want to see me try next time. All right, bye. Thank you, Jack. Extra.